Greetings. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, greetings everyone. Blessed love, and just want to emphasize on some stuff, you know, from growing up in Jamaica and going through when you was a little youth till when you come to your adolescence and become actual man of yourself and go through all the tribulation and everything that you have. Like I said, growing up in Jamaica, as far as I can remember, in a long time ago, cause I think this is the second time I think I did a topic about the same thing here, but I only emphasize about a little bit of some stuff, not every little stuff or every detail, which sometimes, as you know, this you can't remember everything. But most thing that I can remember, I don't really remember on what age. I remember one evening or some day we was in Mount Salem. I think it was my brothers, Howard, and Junior, my little brother, he was the baby then, and Joy. But most definitely, I know definitely that I was very little, so I remember a little bit of stuff, but the little stuff that I remember is just good enough. And I remember that we came in and we were here, and then my mom's said we're gonna move to Granville, and somehow we just got up and we went to Granville. You know, we lived in Granville for a long time, and then living in Granville, we never really know the effect, like say, if it did affect us anyway by leaving from Mount Salem to Granville, because we were still a little babies, little young kids. I think I remember about like 4 or so, or 3, somewhere around there within that time. So when we moved go to Granville, and we stay at Granville and we settled down and we went there, and I think that when we're there, I'm trying to remember, I don't remember the first part where we moved to, but I know we went to this place. I don't know if it was Manigolly we went first or there was something before. I'm not 100% sure. But I know we were living in Manigolly for a long time. One place we don't call Manigolly, which part closed down nowadays. They used to have the cane field and the river water run and all of them things, Granville, man. There's a big cotton tree where the water they used to run and down that side. And things that change up now still. So within all of that time, we're growing up there. We was glad to see Christmas time when Christmas time come, because those are the things. But then, the same process, my mother now, she used to work. I think she used to work for the Mazuka them. Yeah. I think she was working for Mazuka them at that time. And that's where she used to work, looking very nice. And then the boyfriend that she picked now, which is my younger brother them, like Marky, Ted and Bunty, for them father, which them call him Cool Boy, what them call him Charles, Cool Boy. So the abuse started when we were a little boy there. I don't know what pushed it up, but then when I was a little boy, I saw that the beating and the carry on and the disrespect that he did to my mother. And we was little, so there's nothing we could do too much. But there's a lot of people like neighbors and other people who are around will sit there and they will see the abuse that was going on. They never really come back and join in. And then sometimes it looked like some people call police too, but when the police they came for some row, maybe the police then tired because she end up back with him for some hour. I don't know if it's fear or she just love him or whatever it was, but it was going on way terrible and everything, and it was happening so much that everybody know that she would just come in that he would just come in and upset about something with her and all that stuff, and then she would just said save her little money and she buy the furniture them, like them time they have the little dining table, then she have her um a little center table, a cabinet, all this little stuff that they have because them time they the early 60s, you know, as a single parent, you know, with like at that time is we have four it was four of us, four children, and then I don't remember my sister was there. I don't remember she was exactly stay there all the time, but somehow she went moving between. But yeah, four of us plus then she had another son which is Ted, and so it started to expand. So the abuse what was going on with him because he was upset. He would just come in when she buy her furniture them to try to get up the little her little place, but yeah, her little rooms, try to set it up decent, like put up the furniture and all of that stuff. And he will come in and upset, and then when he come in and upset and come in and see her, he start with her, and then he will come around and he mash up or break everything that in the house to pieces. And everybody crying, my sister crying, and we can't do anything. Then all of a sudden, then the cop they will came. Then sometimes I guess he gone for days you don't see him. Then sometimes you see he come back in the yard and she still talk to him and take it from there. Now we out of table, we out of cabinet, we out of chairs and all of them things because he just broke it up my mind for a little single parents who after struggling for her one to just take care of the little children that she have. Oh, backward it push her. Cause it's like every time she try to make one step forward, then he put it backward, and then for some like I said, I don't know the reason why she stayed with him or all of that stuff with him. I don't know why she didn't leave. I don't know if it was fear or it was love. I don't know what it is. But I remember one particular time too that I think I was 6 years old then. Never forget that part. I was 6 years old. Never forget that age. The reason why I never forget that age because one day they have a fight. She was fighting her and beating her up, down and all that stuff. And then I pick up a stone now. And then when I hit him with the stone, I run naked. Remember a little boy, 6-year-old little boy, they run naked in the city. They took little town. They run naked. They go to my auntie because I scared. I went naked on, go to my auntie, go tell her, say, yo, cool boy again, fight my mother again, because I always, at 6 years old, I was trying to protect her. But there's not much to do because I was just 6 years old. I run to my auntie, they came, and then he stopped to do that again. And it prolonged it, go on, till we move from that section, and we move through another section, which part then call another man. We live up on another man's yard, named Mr. Clark. Cross over where the Allen then live, and we just live over the same section of Mr. Clark place, just to have a Glover Allen where I live over that side. And Mr. Allen, because man, they're a respectable man, and come to a man for Granville and thing. And the same thing continue. The man come there one Christmas, I think. My mother was working. No, she couldn't even keep no job because every time that a man come in, things mash up and he check now and then she have to move. Now she get another job way up in our country there side, up a Belmont side now. And she look like she can't see one day Christmas time. I never forget this. I think she sat down, she did send a turkey for us and a chicken or something. And the man come in and mash up the whole place. and my sister have to get up and pick up the turkey, pick off the glass them from half of it, clean it off so that we could eat. But all of the furniture, everything was mashed up because he upset. And you know, it was a sad thing then to see when my sister did that, and she have to, we didn't know if we eat in the glass because we have to clean off all of them thing, and we doesn't even know what we can't with them because we have to clean off the turkey again and wash it off, clean it up just so we could get it to eat. The man they must dead like that. The man do some wicked thing the man never did to look at youth because growing up and see all them things, but at the same time now the abuse were going on that I don't know. There's no one else to help. Look like people just see it and just ignore it because sometimes when you go to them police and at them time they look at it and be like, oh, it's a domestic affair with the family, or maybe the woman is bad and the man is disciplining him in them time because you know the woman abused, badly abused in them time. And all of that stuff. So it was like terrible. So till we passed it and then we moved from there now. We moved from Granville because after when she moved and come up at Belmont, then she get a little place from her old man, you know, Mr. Barrett, one little old house, one of the oldest house I ever seen. And we moved and went in there. When I went up there and I saw that the house that we live in, it was so terrible that most of the time when I come from school, I'll hide. We'll just sit down and just walk through some opposite side of the area and go up on the bush and walk back down so that the other school guys them and my schoolmate them and all them people them see me live because I was just so actually embarrassed about it. So the people them in the area them know definitely say because them know definitely say boy we live there so them not bother because them know say I'm sorry already. Them just give respect. They never get up and talk about oh we live, where we live, or all these other things. That's one thing at them time that them people never mock us. But when we move up at that area too, no, we have to move up at that area now. We just come from down my city with this tribulation with this man. And when we get up there now, the guys that live up at the hilltop now, Watson's, you know, Mr. Bro, the Watson there, man, you know what I mean? Like, you know, just a guy that live up, the whole of them and car and all of them people, the whole of them are family, you know, mix up, so it's a whole people live on top, so it's a joke thing. So, one of the time we go for water, we have to get water, because we have to fetch the water, we have to carry water. We didn't live too far away, because it was standpipe and about a block away. We could have stayed with house, but we still have to walk, go up the little hill and go up our house. But the house was so old. But you know, when we get up there, and there was always a lot of people there, because the standpipe have to serve the people on top of the hill, and the people below the hill, and the people over this side and the other side. So you have people from 4 different sides coming in. The people from over that side, and from the east, right around the little area, you have people just coming in to get water. So sometimes there's a lot of people there, but you have to just wait till when it was actually your turn to put your pan in, but to get to fill up your local bucket and all that stuff. So most of the time then we just standing there for a long time and we start to find out now that the brethren them know if people them, you know, start to make them family and them old friend them everybody feel and we stay for last. And we just, you know, we look upon and then when they finish still, we still wait. We didn't say nothing or anything, you know, we just stay there and they fill up our, we just get their things set up when they're done and we fill, we bucket and we carry the water and go up over here and then my brother, you know, always just said to always say, boy, you know, say, man, my test is still, you know. Because back home, you don't know, say, where we are come from, you know, we look simple, but we was people was very adventurous looking people, them, like, you know, they want to underestimate us, you know, we was like very adventurous, because we come from more down at the city side, and we used to run all the way down from Granville to Tucker to Irwin, go back to Montego Bay down at the city side, which part they used to have the Barnet River and we used to party. So we are very adventurous youth. So when they get up there, they thought they underestimate us. So when I said to always say like, yo, we're gonna have to make sure they stop this thing. And I remember we go down there now and try to pull the pan in again. And jigs. We are on jigs. Joke, you know. We are friends, good friends. We go up to be brothers though. Like jigs took it out, took out my pan. And we just be like, put back my pan. And took it out, and put back my pan. Then he just look pan and then just like, I didn't just fool. So from that, it was you realize say, yo, you know what? Man, I'm no bad man, nothing anyway. So just leave it alone. And you know, we just grew up there, school there, we just grew up friends, and then we just grew up live as brothers. We never really have no work or war thing. We used to play like over one side, which part Len used to do. Len used to have a few local cricket team and a soccer local team he used to make. So we used to go over there and play cricket against them, and they, most of all the time they win. Cause they were better cricketer. I couldn't play no cricket too tough cause I'm afraid of ball. When they bowl the ball to me. Never like it. I was a good fielder, but I wasn't a good batsman. Never liked the ball. At one time, a brethren bowl a ball to my hit me on my chest. Coco do that from that. I mean, I don't like thing with no ball thing. But we used to grow over that side, adventurous thing, and we just grew up as a family from that time. And one of the incident, very incident, we don't know what will happen, but I come from school one evening, and I think at that time I'm about 12 years old or 11, somewhere around there. So I remember exactly, but somewhere around that time. I don't remember if I was done at the secondary school yet, or we just coming from upper primary school. I'm not 100% sure if I was which school I were, but I know I was somewhere between 11 and 12. So if I was 12, I would be done by the secondary school. And if I was 11, I was at, but I'm not remember the exact age, this class where I was, but somehow, I don't remember what happened, but something happened, some confrontation going on with Ben up, and Ben up gave me some, Ben up a bigger boy for me, you know, bigger and strong, but you know, he come and he gave me some fist, some hit, dang, dang, dang. Couldn't manage me because I'm a stronger man to me, a bigger boy and everything, so he just take advantage and he beat. But the spirit said no. What me don't do to retaliate now? Because even though I'm a little boy, we still determined. So boy, I don't know. If you don't go fight, just fight. And just determination. Determination is just good enough. So I look around, and when I look around, I found a nice little stone, a nice little size stone that I could manage right on my hand and thing. Nice size, smooth, almost like a smooth stone, like them sandstone or something. So it was just good enough for me, look like egg. And when I look at it, I'm dropping, right in a bend up, right in a bend up head. A pure blood vessel come out, and I say yes. So I start to run. You know what I mean? Just start to run, and they just run, and he run and he bleed up on me. See, when he catch me still in blood, when they come upon me and everything, I blood was on me too. But he still know that he did beat me, but from that he know definitely say, yo, I look like that him, but he knows definitely say, I will challenge, I'm not going to give up. And then from that time we just grew up more as brother. We go to the same church. We just always together, we were family them, and then we just grew up as a great family in the same community for many years, and all of that things, so things just changed. But we grew up in that era too, was a struggling thing, because grew up so poor in them same era. It was not only us, because there was people too who was still struggling in the same era. That even one time, we died on dead yard too, and we died the dead yard, bridging, like some friend there, and Raj, they play domino, and me and my brother always stand up there, and when we stand up there, something maybe always say, he wasn't calling him on, but he upset because he was losing, and he said, we call out him on, and then we get up and boom, and then think, if we come up and start to go and lick or something, and we thinking broke a buckle, and just like, ding, and just like, rock, stab up him ass, you know what I mean? Stab him up like that because, you know, it was like, said, woo! But I know, them never really know that was like that because I used to be like a little gang leader in a Granville at the school, even though when I was a young little youth, I was like a little leader for some gang where we had down there. So every evening, like the school I used to fight against different section in the district. We used to fight every evening. So we were just fighters, but they didn't know that. But he got hurt, and then my mother have to take care of it for a long time, and you know we just grew up. But I guess there's still revenge still coming at it still because all when I grew up a big man, them still remember it and still get off with it later in like old days when I was travel. But like see all of them little things that just grew up and you know with your friends and your family and the school life, and then we enter into the church, and thing was so bad that you know one day we are play sometime y'all are play some little game, and we are play game cross over Mr. Brown yard because he was a churchman too. And we ball go over there in my fin yard, and I think he must have chopped up the ball or something. And my mother told him off and cursed him so bad and everything. I think he must have been by about the ball or something, but his conscience, because when my mother explained and cursed him down, I said he should do better as a churchman. And then you know, you go in at the church and you see the different kind of life what people them living at the church. And some of the type of thing we're going on in church, like with some of the people them were protest to be like them are Christian with them wife and act like they're homosexual to do in the church and try to come at young people most of the time. And then you realize that some people like come to their wife, they be like, why would these people say that? Because they see a young man, they come like, you know, the church hide a lot of stuff there too. Because most of these people, they abusers and molesters and pedophiles that's in some of those church there, and they hide, and the church think that okay, this man is in church because they are deacon or they pastor and all of them things. But most of some of these people, why sometimes they never even have a wife, and they can't even say that too because some of these people have their wife, but they actually have a different type of thing with their sexuality in the church, and everybody see them every day, most of the time, church time, dress up good, going to church, and they think that they're better than the next people out there. And that's what I experienced in the church. So when I started to go to church and I see all of that stuff, then I left the church. I get out of the church because I saw all of that thing there, because even when I meet Pastor Brooks and in go there, we went there and he was the pastor there and he left and he come America and all of that stuff. That's when you start to see more of the other stuff what the people them does there. It was the church just fell apart. You know, me then fell apart, then me now with myself now start to have my little girlfriend, you know, and get my first youth. I get my girlfriend when she was 17 pregnant. I was 19 also that, so me that Jamaica now follow the concept. Mine now said she was pregnant, she was still in school. I was just started to work. I was just somebody who just come out. We both poor people were just not even set our life yet in no standard. I just started being like 19, she's still in school, and then when I go look for her, she was so struggling to go through all of the struggling stuff. And it's not like she did have to go through all the struggling because her dad was in the United States, but she went through a lot of struggling too. But then I went there, and then we have to fetch for each other, like look out for her, she look out for me, which was very good. And within the period of time now, you know, I end up having another girl, getting another girl pregnant. So I have two baby mother pregnant at the age of 19 years old. Mine, you know, never even have a father. My father was around too but he always a film look aside. He never taught you how to be a man. you learn how to be a man from the street. And where it was in the street, the example that some of those other people set for you that you think was a good example, it was a very bad one. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's like we are used to work, used to have all these even most of the big the elder man them then they married and they with their wives. And some of the other man them wouldn't marry them have their girlfriend. But me went there as a younger man now and start to see the movement to see like all of them man you know, most of every one of them man them have a girlfriend or somebody that can look for them. So there wasn't like you know, like they have set you know example. So you start to see the way. So when you look and see one man with them older man, they them have 3, 4 women. You be like, oh man, they cool man, they old for woman. But they, in the end, you follow the same try to follow the same road because it's not like your dad was there to tell us, hey, boy, this is not a good road, or even your mother or anything. Because like I said, we're learning from the street. This is our education we get. We learn from the street, and most of the mistake what the elders they made because you saw them doing it, you follow the same step and follow the same thing that they does, then it causes an effect for you in the later days. Because when you look at it, basically for your children and then money in your pocket, that is enough one. Say if you have children with one woman and you have $100, you have 3 children with one woman that can come in with $100. You just say $100 and split it, use and share it up and make it work for the home. But when you got that $100 and you have 3 women that's looking for money from you for your 3 children with 3 different women, and you have $100, 90% of the time, $10 you might get because you had to give 130, next 130, so now you have $10 to fetch for yourself. What you gonna do? That can't take care of you. So that is the first mistake because a lot of people have them children that try to don't take care of their children, like have the money in their pocket and they will never share it towards their children mother. But I wasn't one of them things because knowing up said even though I have them differently, I still have the concept in my head to know that my father never take care of us financially. Into my knowledge, like when I go look for him, he never really do anything for us. So to me, I try to make sure in myself that I wasn't gonna do that. So even though I did make the mistake of having children early with different females and all of them things, it's just that still I was there to make sure because I never went through a child support for none of my children because there was no reason to. And because I was a good provider for my children and even for my mother too, because even when I was there growing up too with even my mother, and she going through a struggling because you know man them used to send me to the store them and I have to come back and they will give me the change, or anybody come around and I get little thing I would save it, so I would have change. And sometimes when my mom she going through struggling, she's like, boy, go down on Mr. Gray's shop to go ask Mr. Gray or Devon or Dave or Melody to see if they can trust you something. And then sometime I look at it, I say, well, you know, I think I have maybe $2 something saved. You know, then the time that you can use 25 cents to buy a pound of chicken back on another 20 cents to buy 2 pounds of flour. So it was a lot of money. So I was like, ma, you don't have to do it. I have some money saved. And she said, yeah. And I would just take it because sometimes I'm embarrassed enough because it's so many times we had to go there and go try to get credit. But they will most of the time Melody, Devon, and Dave from down Mr. Gray shop, Mr. Gray to himself, even Mr. Gray too, but sometimes I just like, you know, scared to ask Mr. Gray, but you know, my mother will just still go to Mr. Gray, but I will ask Melody itself, because Melody was cool with me, and Devon and Dave. So there was all 3 people, young people in them time that I will never forget too, because they even help us when we go through and feel struggling. I never forget those people. You know, Melody is in Canada now. I don't know where Devon is, but Dave is in, maybe Devon is in over here, but Melody's in Canada, and I always reach out to Melody and I told her thanks for all those days, because I never forget the days that my mom was going through struggling, and she sent us there and they was looking out too. And one day another joke, and we have a cousin one named Bino, come from America. He was in the Navy, I think. Or somewhere, I think he was in the Navy, one of them places he was in. But he came down to the shop and he's like, to Mr. Gray, Bully Gray! What's up, Bully Gray? So now I have a look, boy. So, you know, I said, cool, you sound good the way he said it. So when that man gone back one day, I went to the store and I said to him right down my shop, Bully Gray, what's up? Just making a oh. Man about 6'5", 6'3", then tiny, heavy, big, thick. And man grabbed me in one corner. Who you calling Bully Gray? Have respect. Dang, 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 shot me up to the wall. I said, who? I was scared. Well, I told my mom, but my mom came down and I was asking why. But then again, my mom couldn't curse him too much because my mom get credit from him. But he said he never done that. But then Melody didn't know that. He already knew that he did it because Melody saw when he struck me up to the wall and all of that stuff. And I was a local youth, so I did a lot of little things that we got through when you're poor. But, you know, I'm just go back and forth. I could remember, like, you know, I remember that thing and then I would just go back to where with the kids. But little things that I need to fit in, I don't remember them all right away, so I would just go back and forth. So if I say I go back when I was a little older or when I go back when I'm younger, it's just that I just talk it while I remember it, you know, explain the whole situation at the same time. Yeah, so anyway, now back to where we start to get children now and we get my youth them and move up a Belmont. And place was just so struggling and rough up there because I think way before when I got up there was a bigger house up there, but the people them, some of the Sharon family them then took off some of the house and they went down to another side, they mile and leave a little section on the house. The house left there with no toilet, no kitchen, no bathroom. It was just a little box section left there. So if everybody got to do any, like use the bathroom, we're gonna have to go over bush, go set up a little section. So when I got there right away, I did da. Just get something together. I set up a kitchen section, then they got a bathroom bill. And then I got I put a little room on it too because my little section was there when it was in there, and sometimes you have the kerosene light and you know the lamp kerosene lamp on in the house, and if you walking outside you can't see the lights in the house because that's how much those wood was old and have spot through them. Sometimes you have to be wet like soak cleaner paper and stuff up the pot so you don't see the light. That's how terrible it was. But you know, coming from afar still and overpower that and you know, growing up then in the process now while I'm there now, I try everything to make money. Used to have like my weed field over that side and then I have another weed field down Kinggate side over there. So he's planting weed too. Yeah man, because a lot come in, and when Lock come in, so I'm plant the weed now. True, I'm a younger man and I'm a bigger man. Lock will come in and you know, he take the weed on consignment, and one day he take the weed on take most of the weed on consignment, and you know, he get some money, and when he get some money, you see me go check him and I say, boom, me check in him house and see the man have a big box of money and I say, oh, I sell some of my weed then because he get the weed from consignment. See the man get up and he give me some money and he write me, said me go down a road, go give it to some people, you know, some government people, you know. And after I gave it to the government people, you know, when I come back up now, I say, oh, this man don't give me my money. And when me look now, the man look at me and say, boy, money have to do something else, you know. From that, I don't respect that again. Because you use my weed to get the money, and at the same time, the person who gave you the weed, you couldn't even give him the weed, you tell me different stuff. Even if $1, you couldn't give him because I still have my youth, and I still a hustle, and You know what I mean? We need something. Me and Junior, cause me and Junior in the hills, and you know, I never respect him from that. So, but him still deal with me, but the respect of how he conduct himself towards me because I was always look young. So I feel maybe that because I look young, he just take advantage. He said, boy, I look like a little boy. So I feel that I could wait last because of my age. But you don't understand that I was a man with my responsibilities, you know, but the way how he did it, you know, feel like said, boy, okay, can't they can wait, my little boy. A very nice experience in Jamaica still because it's just between that and then working at the ice factory again. When I started work at the ice factory, when we work at the ice factory, it was one of my great experience too because I learned how to articulate myself towards people. I become the union delegate, assistant delegate. Then if Mr. Maxwell is not there, Mr. Maxwell was the delegate. And then before Dermot was the assistant, and then Dermot left and he went to be the foreman. So they granted me the assistant delegate, and then from that I start to prepare myself how to take up for workers and when they do something wrong, or even though sometimes they wasn't even wrong, they're wrong, but at the same time the union have to back them, so we have to call a strike, we run the place. I learned, man, I learned very so much there because Mr. Wolfie taught me a lot of stuff mechanically and everything to show, because when Mr. Wolfie employed me, because that was one of the first place too, and I'm giving respect to that because when I was like 17 years old, just got out of school, high school, and Bakar used to work there. So when Bakar come, most of the time Bakar said, "Come down here and see if you can get a job," because But then Mr. Wolfie said there was no job there right now. So, but I used to hang out there just to see when they need somebody, because there was a time before when they used to want to do something like crush the ice and sell the bag ice, and then they have a little machine outside, and then most of the people them was always busy, so they always will need a little hand. Sorry, and then Barker told me to just keep coming, man. They might need somebody, and I say, all right. So every day I was there early, and then Mr. Wolfie saw how punctual I was by being there all the time. Not even just come there and not even get no job. Sometimes they didn't even need me for days, but I was just there, and he took it upon himself and he employed me. And from that until today, that employment made me be who I am today. Because like one day, actually, when Mr. Wolfie left, I can't say everything, but Mr. Wolfie left, and when Mr. Wolfie left from there, he went and he bought another ice factory not Deanval, in Falmouth for himself. He owned the Falmouth. So now Mr. Cook become the manager again, and me and Mr. Cook there, and Mr. Cook looked to me one day and he said to me that he wished that he did have a son like me. He said, boy, he's an intelligent guy, he's very bright, but you're Rasta. I said, so what's wrong with Rasta? And then he's like, yeah, you're good. He said, you know how much I respect you. He said, look, when I drive in, I never see you run away from me. Like, most of the time when the people they run, he said, what do you mean? He said, yes. He said, when I'm driving my car, you see how many people who was in the front or they run to the back. So he said to me that, do you know the reason why they run? I said, no, because I don't run. He said they run to cover up the thing what they're stealing. I said, okay. He said, but you never run. I said, for what? And he respect me, so he always come and he talk to me and everything. And one day, he said to me that he wish he did have a son like me. And he said to me that this place, he said, I'm young. And he see the way I articulate myself in the meeting and stuff, because as the assistant delegate. And he said to me one time that I should start to look for better place. I said, what do you mean? He'd be like, I said, I have a job here, and it's a nice job. He said, Rutherford, let me tell you something. He said, this place not gonna be here forever. And he said, for a good young man like you, at that time I was 19 years old. I said, and he said to me, he started said to me, he said, start to find and see if you find a better place to live, to go and find a job. I said, what do you mean? Because he said there's no other promotion for me at that place. So what do you mean? He like said, he said, yeah, like what? He said, like, go away from here. He said, like, I said, where? He said, like, go to America, go to other place and try. And I said, And then I said, why would this Mr. Cook say this thing to me? But when Mr. Cook said it, it started ringing my head. And then my mother and my sister was here, but my sister was here too. They was doing their struggling time too. And my mother, she came up doing her also struggling time. So I didn't want to put anything to them. But anyway, we went through. Then my sister got through and he come down there. She come down there, get through a thing, and went back. And I still working there. And then after I working, been there, there's a time come when I start to look. And they said, I remember what he said, and I start to really open up to different things and see where to do and what to do. And I said, I think something come within me, Mikey and Norman Barrett, to have Travis, because actually something will happen with Mr. Barrett. I think it was Mr. Them have a connection when going through that we have to go through. We'll go through some other place and see if we could go to the Bahamas and go to the Bahamas and go chill for a while. And then, but at that time, the thing happened. It wasn't work out. Things don't work out because we bought our ticket and all that thing, and then it changed up. So we had to have a different plan. And then Mikey then left and get the visa, come up here. Then Norman left. It took me a long time. I left. Then I came up to America. But the Jamaica life where most of it is all a little stuff there to hang out, reggae Sunsplash, to see the Sunsplash. Even the time, one of my good time, I think, one of my personal time in 1977, when Bob Marley come out, I think it was 1977, yes. 1977, I think, when Bob Marley come out in a reggae Sunsplash. 77, that means I was 16 going on 17, yes. So when he came out there and I see Bob Marley there, was one of my best times for the Sunsplash, because Sunsplash always happening there, and I saw Bob Marley. When Peter come there, I never get to see Peter, but I heard this time Peter was singing on stage. And most of the other stars, meet Bunny Wheeler, Gregory Isaac, Culture, Burning Spear, Sugar Miner, Yellow Man, all of these good people was there in them days there. We were glad to be there in them times. So it was a very good experience in the Jarrett Park because I live on top of the hill. And I remember sometime like I learned a lesson because I was working, and sometime like, even though the price sometime of them days was like $40 or $50 to go in, a whole man still can't afford it, because remember one time I wanted to take a thing and go in there because I could have gone in there, but I have work, so I couldn't go. So sometime on my break time, I still let me run up there and go see if we can spot something. And the whole people them pack up at the Jarrett Park gate. So the soldier man then come in and then take some thing and then start hit man. And one day somehow we get a hit from the soldier man. What me how do? So from that time, I look at and said, yo, if you're not going on one place and you're not paying money going, man, go stand up nowhere like your love stands, because this is what happened. I felt so disrespected when the soldier man did hit and hit me. Can't do nothing. The soldier man had big AK-47 in the hand. LSR, I think you all do. You know what I mean? So, that to say, if you know your money to go somewhere, to a meeting, to a concert or anything, don't be a lofters. Don't go. Just stay away from there. You know what I mean? And I learned them little things too, like little tactics. But, very nice to grow up there, and I love the experience. But when I came here, now is another story again. I came here through another battalion. Boy, you left You left a nice girlfriend and you left a nice little life. Even though it was a poor life, but it was a comfortable life. To enough man, it was a conservative local life. You know, in Jamaica now, we don't have to have 20 pounds of sugar, 100 pounds of flour, or milk and chicken and everything. We can't just have quarter pound of butter, quarter pound of sugar, quarter pound of flour or local thing and still get up and satisfy and make a meal out of it. But when you come here, it's a different, just you have all of this thing, but then it's a story now where you look at it now and you said, why food them cheaper, and when the food them cheaper, you'll be like, ooh, I was surprised to see the price of things and everything, and it's a changed life. At that time I was in my early 25 years old, so you see things different. And then when I came now, I came in another bad vibes again, because now in the house with partner they now appear war now. Look like this man maybe like he got a job for me. And I remember one time he came in the first day, like, you come to work? I said, oh brethren, I just came yesterday, I should have come to work today. I said, give me at least a day. So the next day I took the first day off because you know I went through a bad vibes to come here. So the next day, boom, he took me to the man and we get the job, which was cool. It was my brother-in-law Rosalie get the job, and when we got the job, you know, we come home and I work, he started to show me little stuff. I think he gave me one pliers. The pliers couldn't even cut a piece of anything. That's how dull the pliers was, but he gave me the dull pliers. But me should have known myself, I said, if you buy one, start to buy one. Because it was a training thing, look like you know, and I mean, I understand that later. But it was just so much pressure now that he may be going through other things in a film life, and then he started to show some different ways and about him and the way how he set up, and then he go and job and the way he talk to people and people with him and all of the other stuff was going on. I look at them and be like, oh, I want to go back, man. I can't let this brother talk to me like this. And then one day, this I said to my mother said, yeah, you got to say, yo, man, go back because, you know, it was no long time and I can't go back and get back my job at Ice Factory. And then my mother said, no, you eat that, you speak like eat that American, you talk about you want to go back, you eat that boy. And then I just said, okay, cool, so I just deal with it and come through. And sometimes if man upset with my sister then, and I tied my head and went up on the job, and he just upset with me too because he said I look like my sister, but it was a long story with him. So, you know, I still give him respect, you know, that way too, because my documents at that particular time wasn't correct, so he still look out to make sure that it happened. But then after he's like a man. Sometimes them say, one day there's a little story that the birds, there was some bird, it was a winter time coming in, and the bird them trying to fly go down south because them know the weather changing up here. It's getting cold. And one of the little birds say, nah go, they'll just stay and chill. And the rest of the bird them say, hey, what mean say you not go? We gone, because down here so cold, you can't take it. And then get up and then flew. Gone. The little bird was left and say now it start to get cold now. And he start to look and say, oh man, I can't take this, I should have go. Then when he get up now and it start to get too cold and he try boom, he got froze. And he fell and he dropped in a little barn. And when he dropped in the barn, he dropped in some cow feces. And when he dropped in the cow feces, he stayed there because it was frozen, and he stayed there and he got warmed up. And when he got warmed up, he started to chirp. Chirp, 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 chirp. And when he started to chirp now, there's a cat in the barn that see him and hear him and pick him out and start to clean him off nicely. And he's glad because he chirped and nice, so the cat cleaned him off. And when the cat cleaned him off, the cat eat him. So sometimes a man save you, that same man can put a dagger in your back too. So you always have to understand. I know every time a man said he like you, and every time, sometime a man laugh at you, he like you. Because sometimes people have their ways in life, and that's just their ways. You have good ways and the bad ways, just like every one of us. We all do. We all have different ways. But sometimes when people go through certain things, and the same type of people them that you try to oppress don't deserve it. They didn't deserve it, because most of the time people don't oppress the oppressors who's oppressing them. They have an old saying said, "Earth people, earth people." There's like people who get hurt from other people try to hurt other people also, and they don't remember that, because even in myself sometimes you find out, as a man said, if you don't be careful, sometimes you might talk to somebody bad down there, and remember that you said, oh, this brother just talked to me bad and I address him, but now you went and you're going to do the same thing to somebody. So sometimes you have to catch yourself sometimes and be very, very careful of what you have to deal with, you know, see? Because life is a thing which part, you know, definitely said that if you're not be careful, like you know, they ever say, any man that charge, any man that change its principle of whom he dealing, you know what I mean? If you're a man make a plan, and the man change his plan and change everything, that man cannot be trusted anymore to lead you or to lead anybody else, because now he just proved to you that he's a liar and also a thief. So life is a thing which part mostly sometimes is that like man, family and friends, and sometimes some of your good friends them sometimes look out better for you too than the people them who you and them share the same blood. Because I remember in the days too, like I said, I still remember it, I'm talking it, you know what I mean? I go back and forth from younger to older. As soon as I remember a little part, I could just talk about it, you know? You know, you can, I'll go back, if I remember something when I was younger and is interested, I'll just maybe put it in, because I remember the time before I even leave and come up here, and they're Jamaican. My mother tried to come up and Joy get her the visa, and she got it. I wasn't one of my happiest time for her. You know what I mean? Then that's when her husband decided to marry her, because he's an opportunist. Because now he was there with her for all these years, so many years, and he never said, okay, marry her. But when she get the visa, that's when she chose to. And me and Doman went there to my tax office and witness for her. And I don't think that man was an opportunist too, because to me, I always have to be taking care of him too. All the time. Every time we'll come on his factory for food and money and all of them things. And he, to me, is that he's up there with his wife and he can't take care of his wife. And then he did bought a house on McCarthy Street, and he never moved his wife and his son going there or nothing, or nobody there. I don't know how that house ended up, but they're not there. They still live in the dirty house up on Trove where they did live, for King Gate, that's up. And be up there same way, but he never really advanced himself and pushed himself wife there, but it was just an opportunist. And then he started seeing me, and then he came here with another Cornish idea, and you know, call you Sonny. And in the end though, when my mom died now, I see the type of person who he really is. But I didn't know him from a long time, but I tried to show my mother who this man who he was, you know. He was an opportunist, and she always taking up for him, because that's her man, that's her husband. But she never looked to see the other part. That's all she was. Oh, they both was settling down on me, most likely to make sure that they was okay. And mind you know, I'm not his biological son. but it was depending on me, calling me Sonny. And in the end, I was his greatest enemy. I'm not his son anymore when my mom died. You know, I took good care of him, like even when they here, and make sure he was eat a lot of stuff. When I was down there, he himself would look at me and said to me, "Oh Brian, I remember when I looked through the window and I saw you coming with two bags, one in one hand and one in the other hand, and I said to your mother, me, Brian, they come and they have two bags." So they knew that food and some money is coming up for them. And in the end, they didn't show the same love like what I was showing. But yo, life move on, because you know man can't stop you from being good. Sometimes when you go good for people, and some man like what Bob would have say, when he come and do something for some old people and the old people say thank you my son, he said nobody can take with them blessing there from you, because them things are already really into you already spiritually. You know, because like for me, I immersed person by myself that, you know, I'm still here. And no matter what it is, we are just moving through this way temporary. And one of the most devastating thing that happened to me is me personally when I got shot, you know, and it kind of changed up my life differently, how I look into things, because coming up here, I think it's Jamaica, you're on the street, and I think that boy, oh, you can hang out with friends, or oh, you can do this, and you all do that. You found out that here is a different way. Like, no, it's different in Jamaica. Maybe at that time in Jamaica, it wasn't that bad. So now I could have said maybe it's like Jamaica, because, you know, sometimes things go bad. But within the same time, Jamaica was a paradise when I left there. None of them things in a certain era of part. It never get no bad way or no other way. So up here now, it get a little different now, because things change, and you know, everybody, people have to understand that a city gonna change, because if the bigger man them want to run the city, and the man them will control it, the civil rights, and the man them will control to look up as a counselor and every part of the government system, like for the local youth them. When the time come for election and all of that time, you will see them people that will run around the poor people them yard and jump around all of the poor people them, because them will look for vote. And as soon as the poor people them come in and elect them, you know, see them the type of people that them. So the struggling in Jamaica will always gonna stand there, and then when those people get into power, they only look out for themselves, their friends and their family. Them now see the local poor people them. And it's the same way how it goes. And that's why I say I don't deal with politics or all of them other stuff on their religion. Because these are people who come in and they act to you like they all of that. And in the end of the day, those people are just some bunch of hypocrites. You understand? They just try to come to deceive the youth them, and them now look out for the youth them. Them will look out for themselves and some of them friends or their own family. The local youth them are left school. Most of them local youth them will go to school for many years. Very educated because they go to good school. But when they get out of school, what the government and what the local island provide setting up for them, and what they're doing for them, like they gonna say, okay, let's try to merge up something with the United States and try to make the youth then do something and then get to survive. No, the youth them down there now, very educated, they know nothing to do, so they have to start to come up with different ideas to make them money, because the government them, they rob for them money and make for them money and live for them life, and they don't care about local youth them. So the youth them now come up and they start to do different things to survive. Everybody talk about them, but when the same man where they talk about the local youth them, where they do all kind of different stuff to keep them alive and keep their family alive, them not see what the bigger man them they doing. Like the man them, the bigger politician man them are in a charge, and them the man they are the thief. You know what I mean? The local youth them just getting the crumbs, and them the man are the big thief, and them the man they show. It's like saying you teach a man about, like what Peter just said, Christopher Columbus, Marco Polo, and all of these other man them then pirate were rob and Christopher were come over and do all the other things there. And you saw how good these men was. Now when people get up and want to be like the pirate, now you upset because you show them that the pirate and they used to rob and come and Port Royal and all of these other things. And then the people are doing the same thing. So the youth them learn these things. Them learn these things. And the thing get out of hand because the local island cannot provide for local youth them down there. And it's then and then some of the local youth them there's certain type of work that they doesn't want to do. Because nobody want to do no labor work or some other work, and most of some of them don't want to do no farming because I know everybody can be a farmer. Everybody have different things, but you them chooses their life and they just been followed by the example that the elders they set, and that's what I see going on there until today. You say you join an organization, and when you get in there, you have to do what they do. You understand? You cannot do what they do. You cannot go in there to do something and oppose what they're doing because from you do that, you're gonna be out. You know what I mean? So you have to join in, and that's what's happening with a lot of system are going now. Matter of that, not only in Jamaica, but all about this universe because man to man is like full of a carnish idea. Because man and the egoistical way is like sometimes you look at it and be like, what a man fighting for? What is he fighting for? If a man fight one now and he get much trillions of dollars, what much money that he have, how long can he stay and live with that money? You know, dead left the money or whatever case it is. You know what I mean? You know, it just that everything that you think that you have here or what you accumulate up, a big house, cars, money, you're gonna dead. Somebody else, you're gonna dead left it. Somebody else gonna enjoy it. And the person who's gonna enjoy it never even know or understand the struggling or what it costs to be there. Or the struggling what that same individual took or the lie that he told. You know? And sometimes fire must burn for some illegal thing. Or when people do something bad, and people come up with a carnish idea, it's also a karma on it, you know. Fire gonna burn for some people that who do the bad things and who try to hide the bad things and who try to get up and come up with carnish idea, tell lie, and people to show that they want to be on top. One of them times when you're on top, somebody might push you off of the building because you might go call the same person up there and the same person might look at it and say, boy, you know, take it, you know. And then he just push you off and then bam, you're gone. So everything that you think you have before, the same thing. Look for all them strong men from every one of them time, from everything, from the kings and the queens, and from the prime minister, the president, and even the man of anything. It's just temporary. We're just passing through. A man having a name, yes, will be calling for many years until whatever thing it is, yes, but you're not there. It's only a statue if it's there. Or some of these people, nobody never remember where they buried because you know what I mean. After a certain amount of years, nobody remember you. So whatever you do here, do good. You know what I mean? Do good. Try to do the good things. And when I say good, a lot of man, good is evil. Because some people still think, say, well, you do evil and it's good. And you gotta know, say, natural vibes. When a man work for him, think honestly, and when a man have a clean and a pure heart and love and care with other different people, because every different principle that share in this universe towards our meditation, vibration, and these other little stuff, and everything cause an effect. Because if you did something bad right now, a man do something to you, and you maybe like don't like what a person do, and then you say, boy, you don't like what I do, so you're gonna take it up in your own and law. And then when you look, you go kill that man, and then you expect to come off of it. No, you're gonna be in jail for a long time. Calm yourself down. You know what I mean? You cannot retaliate and do the wrong thing to people because sometimes they don't deserve it. It costs you more and your time if you don't think right. You know what I mean? So even until my brethren Ian that jail now. Ian, sorry for no. And I don't know because I know you and I know somebody violate you. And every time that something happen in my head and I want to think the opposite way, I always remember you if you said Ian is in prison. So don't that you talking out to me, Ian, like you would have just said to me, said, Brian, you don't want to come here, you know. So by you being there, you doesn't know how much strength that you put into me, and I'm sorry that you're there, but I wish that one day you might come out. And I remember everything. Like, I know that when people violate you, that is something that you don't like. And I know that you never get up and said, boy, you're gonna hurt a man. Because you're always a nice person, but you also, as a man, have to also understand that they cannot grow on and try to hurt you because you're very defensive about yourself because you already seen what I went through. And I remember when, this is for you, Ian, I remember when I was in the hospital and you came there and you couldn't look at me because you saw what happened to me and you know in yourself, so like, you're not gonna make a man do that to you again, do that to you to see what me I went through. And I know somebody did something to you that's wicked or tried to do something and it caused the effect. And I just reaching out to you, brother, stay strong and live because you have life. Just try to make sure you live nicely. And you know, that's a thing. For my son, well, my son now, I ultimately love and respect my son because to tell you the truth, that son never disrespect me, never say anything to me in the presence of myself, face. If he says something is behind my back, never disrespect me, and I really love that youth. So when I got the call the night from my little son, his little brother, and said, boy, daddy then just killed Zeddy. It's not like it's a shock, but deep down into my, when he said it to me, it wasn't too shocking because the spirit tell me a long time for to guide him and show him, say, yo, be careful who your friend is. Be careful who you choose as your friend. You know? And him said to me, say, Daddy, you don't want me or no friend? I said, what kind of thing that you said to me next time, man? You mean say me don't want you no friend? We can't stop you from a friend. But you gotta remember one thing, Nesta. Choose your friend. Choose your friend. Don't make your friend them choose you, because sometimes when your friend them choose you, is there something they see about you that can go in their pack. So they look at you and say, come, so is that something that you want in that way? Think about it. And that's what I meant when I said that to you. But no, you know, I look at it and I see that when it was time that I see, I never even see that, you know, say, boy, a man don't like to go bury his son. And I see that the same time when your grave was, we setting up the grave and painting the grave, it was right there. And it's not a good thing for our parents. And this too, as you know, to all parents, because even though like I was living in America and my son living in Jamaica and thing. And a lot of people I look on me and said, boy, oh, but you was in America, you could have do more, your son, and this, da da da. Yeah, but my son was a grown man. And I seen that even my brother, which is Bakra, cause he's not biological, but Bakra is my brother. And then I saw that his son got killed too with the same gunshot, and he was there, and his wife was there, the wife in a church. So this make a difference to see when the youth they want to do what they want to do, whether if the father and the mother there or whether they don't know. The youth them need to listen. And next look at youth, backward look at youth, speeding, drink and drive on the speed. You know, I am sure, boom, accident, bang. The little youth them nah listen. You understand? I'm trying to tell the little youth them to listen. You know what I mean? So most of the time the girl pitting there will listen to them father and look a bit better when the father talk to them nicely. But the boys them feel like say well boy they can challenge you know. And I know you them are hurt. And we hurt themselves. So don't try to feel say they're gonna hurt your parents sometimes because your parents already struggle out for you, and then sometimes I don't have no sense because the reason why I say that is like if your parents get up and tell us, boy, this thing I want out there so, and then doing it for 50 years and out to the work and then tell you about it, and then tell you the danger part about it. With no conscience in yourself and say, boy, you know, my daddy said this and my mommy said that, nah, why you have to go out there if you go prove it yourself? He made the way already and tell you what's out there. All you gotta do, pass it and go to something else because you know say it's there already. Don't stop there, move it. No, but if you point and say, boy, see what I go on, no, you want myself. I eat that thing in myself, man. Let me see what I go on. That's where you're wrong, you listen to the parents sometimes. And have respect for the parents. Because the thing is that people doesn't know what some parents have to struggle to make sure. It's not like it's their responsibility because they didn't ask to be here, really. We know that. But when you're here, try to look out for your parents also too, because that's what you're there for. They treat you right. Don't try to disrespect your parents. Try to make sure you look out for your parents. Because every parent, I wouldn't say every parent because some parents are very evil, but 90% of parents, they want to see their children them come out good. They want to see their children come out and be like, oh, this is what they achieved. I would say 99% of parents. The parents don't want to see it, and they like to go 2% or so. But you know, their parents were still jealous of their kids and still bad mind their kids and wish bad for them. But most of the parents want to see their children come out good. And some of these children them nowadays, they don't care about their parents too tough. Because some of them said the Bible said that they should just pick their own family and move on. But you also have to remember that the same parents them will take care of you to make sure you be whatever you want to be and even help guide you, because sometimes without their guidance too, if you wasn't obeyed, you would end up in prison. Because a lot of you end up in a prison. Why? Because they wasn't even listening to their parents. You know, see, some of their parents' knowledge. Take some of the knowledge. I'm not saying all of it makes sense, but take the good parts. When they say something, take the part out of it and think about what they said. And try to make sure you underline the part that's pertaining to you. And another thing too, what I understand and I see, and I could also see too, say, sometimes some people try to make some little thing mash up their family. And sometimes we are the family too. Sometimes you don't want to argue with your sister, you don't want to argue with your brothers them because you're not too old for that. It's not like we're not children anymore. We're not a big man and a big woman. But sometimes people have to understand, say you're not a child anymore, or you're not the little brother. You know what I mean? You always, when you're talking to your siblings, you have to just make sure you give them the respect and be like, okay, you know what, they're a man and they're a woman, so respect them too. And it's not good for you to like bad mind your own brother and bad mind your sister. Look out for each other because, like I said, in the end of the day, you are what you have. And like I said, don't care what you as a brother or sister accumulate up. Yes, you're dead and gone or something, your children then get it or get that or whatever who get it or whatever you set it up for. But it's just a temporary basic as long as you can live for. It's not for you forever. So respect and love each other and just trying to show kindness. And to me, as a man that actually a Garveyite man that's looking forward for Africa for everything, that's grew up in Jamaica and live here in America, but my mind is in Africa. Africa is the key. We don't like to see that's all the black man and planet Earth look towards Africa. And Africa themselves should also remember that, like what Dr. Ben said, not because you see a rabbit running a refrigerator by himself, and when you see him come back out, you see him with whelp a rabbit. That doesn't mean they're not rabbit and where they come from. You understand? Marcus Garvey that still said, where man birth is not where him born. So you have to look for Africa. Africa is the key. You understand? Akibulang. You know what I mean? Ethiopia. The part which part they bring it over and said Africa is for the Africans. And people from the African people have to understand, said, we didn't brought ourselves here in the West. And we also, their brothers and their sisters and their family, their big bloodline that missing. It doesn't matter how much years ago, because every other race claim where they come from. And it's okay for the black man to say, look upon them and be like, I'm African. Because even we live here in America, they didn't say nothing else than you're Africa, Jamaica. So it's a reason why they say that. So we represent ourselves as African Garveyites. You understand? And the greatest thing is to deal with love, care, respect each other, take care of the woman them, and try to guide the woman them. And the woman them too need to take their time and understand the man them. And don't call the woman them no bitch and no slut and all these other things there, because anytime, and the woman them don't need to label themselves like that either. Take this time, because one day they're gonna look at it and say when they get older in life, that's something that they do, they might regret it too, because we all does in life. So just guide yourself better and start to see things. For my daughters them, I ultimately love all of youth them. You know what I mean? Well, all the youth them, my sons, Arville, enough respect and love to you too. You is a very man that stand up strong in yourself, and say here's a man that's residing in the country, and you're just man that don't no excitement and problem and none of them things. You just like to be by yourself and deal with the thing, and I ultimately respect you and don't feel that I said like I don't. I always respect you because you have the feeling for yourself. And for my next young son, Ronell, for you too, open up your eyes and understand that your ego and sometimes your temper, if you watch your temper, because you can't act like you have a higher temper than the next man, and the next man can get up and say his temper is higher than you. At the same time, you can't defend yourself because your temper can lose your life. So control your temper sometimes when you deal with certain things because you have a lot of time to go. Because the reason why I'm saying it to you is my experience with things. There was a virgin that he do so much bad things, and one day he saw this 17-year-old. He went to go in a Chinese store. The man and girlfriend, and he want to buy some Chinese food, and then he look one little young 17-year-old boy come in there and start to mess with his girlfriend, and then he start to say something to him, and he yelled at him or something, and then he walked out and he told his girlfriend, said, let's leave the food. The girl said, no, I'm hungry. So he walked out and he sat in the car waiting for her to get the Chinese food. And then the same guy that he just yelled at him, thing just come and he shot him in his head and he killed him right there. So sometimes, what I'm just trying to say, our temper sometimes don't diffuse things. Our tempers inflame stuff. It's like you pour some oil on the fire and it just start to blaze. Right? So you just have to understand the sequence of life, you know what I mean? And you know, basically my brothers them, all of them grew up in a few them ways already, a big man and a lot of love and the good. Each one of us have different things in us. And the same energy that's moved through is all through us, and I wish you all well. And the one them that, like some of us that need to do the right thing and come in yourself, do the right thing, because in the end, fire upon us. If we don't do anything, fire upon we. We have to learn, say, boy, this is the thing. Mentally or physically fire, but when I say fire, it's a destruction will come to you in the end, that you will cry for your mother and he's not there, or cry for your father, he's not there, because then you will sleep into your condemnation. And we have to learn how to present ourselves and love each other, because I remember the days growing up and I was a third child, and we used to have to cheer and make our little caramel porridge or make every porridge just to feed the younger one. And when the next one they drink it out, they have to make sure they don't drink it out so the younger one they could get nourished. And then the same younger one is the same one that can come and push the dog on your back. So two family supposed to be the one that stick together. It doesn't mean that say because a man say blood is thicker than water. I'm not gonna use that terminology, because when a man thirsty, he no ask for blood. He no ask for blood when he's really thirsty. You can't get a man blood when he's thirsty. Because he's no vampire. You have to get water. So we need it. You know what I mean? We just need to come to ourselves together and love and understand each other. And that's the way it is. And big up on ourselves to friends and family, and most of all, thanks again, you know what I mean? Give thanks again for listening to the little story here, but it's mix up story, it's just in and out, like, you know, as soon as I remember some when I put them in together, so yeah, well, you don't do it, but give thanks, and thanks for the interview, and thanks for can be here tonight. It's a snowing night, and request to all my friends in Jamaica, England, Canada, Africa, Aruba, and most of my friends them that here again, like I said, you know, enough love and respect and guidance. That's how we do it. Blessed love. Aitaruta says so. Adofo says so. Blessed love to Adofo. Enough love and guidance. You know, I take a ride to the station, to the spot where she stand on. When I heard the sound of a train, the train coming up the line, I say, little tat, little tat, little tat, hold on some more, little tat, hold on some more. And this for sure, blessed love.